If you've done any business networking or read anything about sales and marketing, you've almost certainly heard it said that business is about relationships. Now, a lot of business owners, I think, take that to mean that they need more relationships. I'm going to argue that we should first look at the quality of our relationships. Welcome back. I am Mike Sutton with BeBuildHave.com, and I work with first generation business leaders who are getting burnt out on the doing and are ready to just start being happy and successful in their businesses. And in this episode, I'm going to start talking about relationships and developing better, stronger, more productive business relationships. And at the end of the episode, I'm going to ask you to think about, do you have the kind of relationships right now that you want with your employees and with your customers and with your prospects and with your vendors? And even personally, do you have the kind of relationships that you want? Because I really want to start with the focus on quality versus quantity. I think a lot of people think about business relationships and they just think they've got to get out there prospecting and networking and getting referrals and meeting more people. But if the quality is not there, we could just be increasing more of what we don't want. So I'm going to really start with focusing on the quality in this video. And the thing that I'm going to start with is the idea that we all have a way that we default to when we relate with other people. The problem is we developed that style of relating, for many of us as children, in a context that had nothing to do with business. It was how do we relate to our parents and our siblings and our friends in hopefully a healthy environment, but in worst cases, an unhealthy or even an abusive environment. But we, regardless, develop that style of relating that we carry into our adult lives. And so now as business owners, if we're not getting the results that we want, if we're not able to develop the kinds of relationships that we want, it's this style of relating that we need to look at. And it can be really difficult to do that because to a large extent, we just kind of take it for granted and think, well, that's just how I am. So let's get into, what does a healthy relationship look like? A healthy relationship in business and personally, really no different, is a relationship between two emotionally healthy, whole, complete people who want to mutually benefit from each other. I want it from you, you want it from me. We both are able to get that, our lives improve. Healthy relationship. It's based on a balance in a lot of these areas. So we look at mutual respect. If I don't feel like I need to be supplicant, I don't feel like I need to be dominant. We can have that mutual respect and trust. Open, effective communication. I feel like I'm able to say what I need to say. I feel like you hear it and are listening to me, and vice versa. You're able to say what you need to say and you recognize that I hear it and understand you. And it's not driven by need, but it's driven by desire, that we both want to enjoy the relationship. You don't have to do anything to serve me and I don't have to do anything to serve you, but we want to both participate equally. It'll be marked by a shift towards influence versus control. I know that I'll influence you and you'll influence me. I don't have to try and control you to make you do what I want. And to sum it up, what I would say is that the relationship adds to both people. I don't feel like I need you to sacrifice for my benefit, and I don't feel like I need to sacrifice for your benefit. But if there are times when one of us chooses to sacrifice, the other is open to receiving it. And so again, it's all about this balance. Now, does every relationship have to be a deep personal relationship? No, of course not. But I do think most of your relationships are going to have some of these elements in common. These are the things that you're looking for. So what's on the other side? If you find in your relationships you're experiencing a lot of resentment or frustration, those are bad signs. If you feel like you need to accommodate the other person, you need to over deliver, you can never say no, you always have to say yes. If you feel like you need them to come through for you, if you need them to buy from you, if you need them to respond a certain way, accept you, trust you, respect you, it's out of balance. And externally, if you feel always busy and unfocused or frustrated or depressed, again, can be signs pointing back to the quality of the relationships that you have. Or if you feel like you always need to escape, drugs, alcohol, sex, pornography, shopping, gambling, and obsessions that are taking you out, trying to fill a gap, fill a void, sign that, a lot of those things are things that we should be getting from relationships, and maybe we're not. So if you see some of that, it's a sign to the quality of your relationships on both sides. Do you recognize that you have good, healthy, effective relationships, or do you feel like some of your relationships are more unhealthy? And so this is the first thing that I want you to look at as you look at trying to develop business relationships. Are you engaged in healthy relationships? And I'll point out, most likely you'll see some common patterns between your personal relationships and your business relationships, even your social and your family relationships. And so the first step really is to look at how you are engaging in relationships. How do you look at relationships? How do you view yourself and others in this context? And are you starting from a healthy, open, engaged place that's open to receiving and able to exchange that value, give and take, so that you can build the business that you want to build? This is the relationship side of business building, critically important. And it all starts with strong emotional health. And speaking of strong emotional health, if you're trying to cultivate positive emotional energy in your life, you might want to check out my 20-minute guided meditation where I address exactly this topic. It's a great way to start the day and can really get your mind focused on positive, successful, happy feelings that are going to drive good, positive energy into your business and throughout your entire life. If you want to check that out, you can email me, mike@bebuildhave.com. I promise I will set up a landing page that you can just go and download it. But for now, the easiest way is just to email me, mike@bebuildhave.com, and you can find my contact information at the website, bebuildhave.com. And I am now into my second month, February 1st, 2016. And so I'm going to keep this daily video challenge to myself going because I want to be able to get this great content to you and I want this audience to grow. But the only way the audience grows is if awesome people like you share it with other awesome people. So head over to my Facebook page, facebook.com/bebuildhave, or to the bebuildhave.com website and look for the social share buttons. Please consider sharing this content with your friends and other business owners who you know need to hear it. Until we speak again, be the person, build the business, and have the successful life that you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds.